Hey guys, it's the Mob Piper coming at you from work. I'm leaving for the day, so I gotta hit the bank. It's payday, or what I like to call it, tobacco day. Smoking my modified Country Gentleman, which is one of my two car cobs that I'm enjoying. Just quick, easy smokes in the car. And in it, I am enjoying my Missouri Meerschaum Country Gentleman tobacco, which is a nice vapor blend. So, I wanted to talk about something. I want to tell you a little bit more about myself. You guys know that I'm a machinist and stuff like that. But I don't always want to just get on here and talk about tobacco. So, what I had in mind today was I wanted to discuss with you a little bit about me and go from there. My wife calls me a dork. I'm a little bit of a nerd. Not a big sports person. I would much rather go out and play a sport than watch a sport. I'd much rather go to the park with a bunch of guys and actually play football than watch football. I don't know, just something about sitting down and watching it. The only thing I'll actually watch is a Phillies game. I'll go to a Phillies game and watch a Phillies game, you know? Yeah, maybe the Flyers. I don't know. It depends. Phillies games are just fun. I love going to Phillies games, even if it's just to go for a dollar dog night. Who knows? Who cares? So, anyway, that being said, I'm also a little bit religious. When I say little bit, I mean, I was raised non-denominational. I still am non-denominational. I go to a Calvary chapel. Just a Bible preaching, Bible believing, verse by verse, you know, through the Bible. We don't have some person in Rome telling us what we got to believe, and the rules never change for us. Case in point, for me, the first sign of a cult is when you have a group of guys in a room who can just change the rules whenever they feel like it. That, to me, that's just like a red flag in the air. I don't even know why anybody ever deals with that. Because who are they to be able to make the rules for a whole religion? But I didn't want to get into that. What I wanted to get into is the fact that I like religion so much, and I say I'm slightly religious. I like religion so much that I actually love every religion. I actually research the crap out of every religion. Even more so, I love mythology. Greek, Egyptian, Norse. I think Norse is by far my favorite. But I love all those, and that's why I think I'm a little bit of a dork, is I'll sit there and I'll talk to my wife about stuff, and she'll just look at me like, why the hell do you know this? I mean, it's a religion that's been dead for hundreds of years. I don't know. I just love the aspect of it. But that brings me to my next point, is why? Why? I did not enjoy the Thor movie at all. It drives me nuts when comic books have so much info in them, and then they go ahead and make a movie, and I get excited because I know the comic books and I know the storyline in the comic books. And then you go watch the movie, and I'm just utterly disappointed because it's nothing like the comic book. Civil War pissed me off because it was just ridiculous. Like, I know they don't have the rights to every single thing that they can, or character they can use, but it pissed me off. Just the storyline was ridiculous. And then, like, I go and see Thor Ragnarok, and while, yes, it was a funny movie, and you know what? Marvel is very good at making funny movies. They're lighthearted, they're funny, they crack jokes, they make it entertainment, the music in it is awesome, but I think that's why a lot of people like the Marvel movies a lot better, where DC is a little bit more dark, in my opinion, a little bit more realistic, and as realistic as a superhero movie can be. And they kind of stay true to the comics. I mean, when I saw Batman v Superman, I just kept seeing all of these Dark Knight Returns Easter eggs or inspiration in it, even so much who has his suit and how he was able to beat up Superman so much and stuff like that. And if you've never read or seen The Dark Knight Returns, I definitely would say, if you're a comic reader, get the comic books. They're amazing. They're, drawn a while ago, but luckily enough, in the 2000s, it might have been like 5 years ago, within 5 years at least, they made it into an animated movie, and so much so that it's a two-parter. So I would advise going and checking that out. But I don't know, I watched it and it just pissed me off so much, because it's like, I know the comic books, I know Norse mythology, and like, no major spoilers, but like, okay, Odin dies. Like, what the hell? Odin doesn't die. Odin gets killed in Ragnarok. Odin never dies. And bringing upon Ragnarok. Stuff like that. Like, what the hell? Like, you have a religion to work off of, and you go ahead and write your own story. Like, what the hell? And it just kind of pisses me off, because it's like, it's just so disappointing. Like, yeah, hell is a major component in Ragnarok, in Norse mythology. Hell plays a very big role. She leads the armies of Hell against Asgard in one direction, and that big giant fire giant, I forget his name, I think his name is like Sutter or something like that, he leads it from a different direction. But here's, strangely enough, Hel in Norse mythology is Loki's daughter. So it's kind of like they randomly just decided to make that, Thor's older sister, who wielded Mjolnir first. I know I'm saying that wrong. I don't know why. I just, bleh. But I don't know. It was just driving me nuts. But like, I'm seeing Justice League tonight, and it's like, I've seen the animated movies, and I've read the comic book that they restarted with, like Justice League War and the new 52 comic. So I was like, I'm super excited about it. I'm really hoping that they kind of, I know they can't make exactly the comic book, especially in the amount of time that they have, but I'm really, really, really hoping that they go ahead and get it as close as possible. I mean, I know it got Rotten Tomatoes. I don't even listen to Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, they're a joke. It's funny because I'm watching The Punisher, right? And I swear, honestly, I think one of the biggest reasons why the critics gave it such bad reviews as they did, or at least, I don't listen to critics, I just heard that Rotten Tomatoes was not nice, or the critics were not nice to The Punisher, is The Punisher seems just to be so anti-left, anti-gun, it's funny. Like, I'm watching it, and it's like, they're talking. At one point, he's talking to the senator. He's like, "You're not against guns?" And he's like, coming from the guy who's trying to hire a private security team to keep him safe, And it's like, that's exactly what the world is. You can have the Clintons going ahead and be like, "Oh, we are against guns," but they have a stinking wall of guns around them, just protecting them 24/7. So it's like, it's almost kind of, it's I think that's hilarious. I'm not sure if they meant to mock them. I don't even know if it's meant to be kind of like an anti-left type situation, but I could very easily see the critics, you know, bashing them for that because of just the nature of our society nowadays. You just got a bunch of idiots running things, and it's just, that made me laugh, but I don't know. Anyway, I was just got me thinking. I'm just rambling here and driving to the bank, smoking my pipe. Not so much now. I probably went out definitely a long time ago talking, but I don't know. I just don't want to get on here and just every single time do a yabo or a shout out. Like, I watched Uncle Butter's video today on science versus religion, and while I disagree with a couple of things he said, and even though what he said might have been a little, I guess, like mocking towards the anti-people or anti-religion, I'm not real sure. He might have meant it mockingly. And I agreed with like 90% of what he said, you know. But that's actually like the first time I watched a tobacco, you know, related YouTube channel that was not really tobacco, and I actually surprisingly very enjoyed it. I watched the whole thing. If you guys have not checked out Uncle Butter, make sure to check out his videos. It was, you know, it's just him talking like I'm talking, but it was very well thought out. He had notes. It was nice, and I was like, you know what? I want to do something like that. I want to do something where it's not just me just saying, hey, look at my pipe. But yeah, anyway, I'm sure I'll let you know what I think of the movie. I probably have a prejudice or a bias towards it. Yeah, I would say a bias, that I am, in fact, a lot more DC than Marvel. While I like the Marvel movies, I think everything else Marvel is trash. And even some of their movies, even though I thought that, you know, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was hilarious, I thought the movie was absolutely garbage. It had randomly the bad guy, you know, they find out that the dad's the bad guy like 90% of the way through the movie, and they just had it didn't further the storyline in the Infinity Wars. I don't even know why it was there. Like, it was just like, hey, let's make another movie. You know, it was hilarious. There was a lot of jokes. It made me laugh, but ultimately it was stupid. And same thing with Thor. Thor was funny, but I've seen and read both Ragnarok and World War Hulk, and I've seen World War Hulk, the movie, animated movie, which was pretty accurate to the comic book. And then, like, you get something like this, and it was kind of like, it doesn't make any sense. They just randomly was like, oh, let's just take the Hulk from World War Hulk, and that's it. Like, nothing else. Yeah, okay, he's a gladiator. That's the only thing that had in common with World War Hulk, is he was a gladiator. And it was just like, okay, I guess. And quite frankly, I wanted to see Beta Ray Bill. I thought seeing Beta Ray Bill would have been hilarious. But, I don't know. Anyway, that's my rant. Happy Cop Tuesday. I hope you guys all had a good day, and keep your pipes lit.